Hello and welcome to Crypto News. Today, June 1st, 2026. Have a good week and a good month, everyone. And the top crypto news is as follows. And we'll go to our ETFs and start with the spot Bitcoin ETFs, which are having very red days as we managed to close 10 consecutive days of outflows, resulting in $3 billion being lost in these 10 days. While the spot Ethereum ETFs have worse numbers as they have had outflows for 14 consecutive days and have lost $2.6 billion. From these two ETFs that have outflows, the only ETFs in the crypto market that have continuous inflows and are making serious numbers are the ETF for XRP, and the immediately most popular one for this period at least is the hyperliquid ETF, which managed to reach $100 million, with the price of hyperliquid touching $73. From our ETF, we'll now move to our companies and go today to MicroStrategy, the company of Mr. Michael Saylor, who Mr. Saylor apparently doesn't know what he wants to do anymore. I say this because he posted on Twitter that he bought Bitcoin, saying it works better. These are the typical tweets that Mr. Saylor puts out, who announces to us that he made a purchase, and we'll learn in a few days what that purchase was. This comes in contrast to the things he did and said in previous weeks, because last week he didn't make any Bitcoin purchases, he just bought debt, and had made statements that it's not unlikely for MicroStrategy to sell Bitcoin at some point in 2026, with Mr. Saylor also moving money into Coinbase as we had seen in the previous episode. So he probably changed his mind and now wants to continue buying Bitcoin. Continuing with our coins, we'll go to SUI, which had a very difficult previous week, with the network going down not once, not twice, but 3 times, please. And now we've learned what happened, and these are both good news and bad news, and you'll understand why in a moment. Specifically, the SUI network suffered service interruptions that put the blockchain out of operation 3 times, attributing the disruptions to 2 separate bugs that were introduced with version 1.72. I'll say that specifically the first 2 interruptions arose from the same flaw in the way SUI processes gas fees, essentially. The Foundation stated that a transaction could be cancelled due to insufficient funds while the network continued to spend the gas fees, creating a negative balance, and so it can't make sense and continue something on the network. So the first outage made an error in how it calculates gas fees, resulting in them showing negative numbers. And that's not logical. What turned the first outage into 2 outages was the same code update they put in to fix the first problem, because as the foundation itself says, they knew that the fix they put in had a known problem with a low probability of causing an outage, a risk the team took to quickly restore the network while fixing the more serious upgrade. Nevertheless, it was unlucky apparently, and so the network went down for the second time with a problem that they themselves knew existed, and as they told us had a low probability of happening, but it happened. Let's go to the third service outage. The validators restarted to install the fix of the fix, which activated a mistaken error in the way the network maintains randomness settings between restarts, a function that is very basic to the SUI network. Let's say at this point, the foundation reported that very few validators were ready for this process after the restart. Therefore, this randomness was disabled so that everyone could do it. Nevertheless, a bug means that validators failed to record this decision and cannot close the epoch. As a result, the network went down for the 3rd time. So to put it more simply, there is a basic function, which is the randomness setting on the SUI network when restart happens, so that everything is random. It's done to be as fair as possible for all validators, because for some reason this basic function wasn't ready for all validators to do. They said to remove it so that everyone could restart on the network, without, however, removing a safety valve that essentially checked if all validators had done this randomness setting for everything to be fair on the network. And so again, the network fell for the 3rd time. So fixing all these things with an upgrade that disabled this safety to valve, from what I understand, the SUI network is operating perfectly approximately normally at the time of writing this episode, but I'm not absolutely certain for how long with what I've read. Continuing, we'll also go to Cardano, which officially now the Cardano Foundation has cancelled the summit for 2026 after the voting failure that you all know about in the crypto news in the previous episode just now. While to close the episode positively again, we'll go to CRYPTONEWS to close his story as well, which tells us that the restaked tokens were restored after 5 weeks from the hack in which they took $293 million from them and made everyone realize that DeFi is not as safe as some say. And it's time to go to our beloved crypto market with Bitcoin standing at $73,000. That wraps up the top news for crypto today, June 1st, 2026. I'd like to remind you that the content you just watched is created for educational purposes only and should not be considered as investment advice, but rather as investment opinion. Please subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and feel free to comment. Take care, everyone, and have a good day.